based on how quickly they were working. This is where our A3 classes ended. So we've already got the example problem here. They're showing you step by step how to do it, guys. They've given you the pieces that I'm putting together on the first one, and they've given you the slots to do it for the other two problems. So you're going to finish working these two problems following Gemma. Once you finish those two, you are free to move on, and you can start on this one. But when you start on this one, I want you to, again, fold the paper at this line so you're not looking at the answers. For those of you that forgot your packets at home. Oh, amazingly, it appeared? No? Okay. For those of you that left your packets at home, just do the problems off of the board on a blank piece of paper. Okay? So you have this page and the next one. We've got a total of 10 problems. We'll give you guys about 8 minutes. Go ahead and start. Okay, our first set, let me go back page. These two should have been easy because it was literally all set up for you. So 125 plus 25 gives me 125 divided by 5. So I take that and I divide it out, and I know that my answer is 25. Second one. Again, they kind of did this one for you, but not as much. We're doing the 32 divided by 16 first. So I rewrite everything else I haven't done. 82 times 18 times 2, which brings me back to 36. Okay, let's go to the next page. And before I start this one, I'm just going to say something, because this is where you guys are kind of disadvantaged that you're my third class for today. So some of the frustration that is built up for 2 whole classes kind of starts to boil over. And I will just say again, I am really, really tired of you guys not doing what we're asking to do. Believe it or not, Mrs. McShannon and I really do know math quite well. And yes, the ones that we are giving you to introduce this concept are relatively easy. And the majority of you in here can do them without writing anything down. But we're teaching you a process, guys. The process is what's going to be able to lead you to success as these problems get harder. So those of you that are not practicing the steps we're asking you to do in our last packet today are going to struggle, the most of you. Because you're not practicing what we're giving you. And it's kind of where I get into this loop in teaching math of, I don't want to try teaching you a concept with hard numbers that are so difficult that the math becomes so hard you can't learn the process, versus giving you easy enough numbers to learn the process, but then because the numbers are easy, you guys just want to skip the process. So really it comes down to faith. Please believe us. We are trying to make this as easy for you, but allowing you to be successful as we can. That means take the steps. One of the first things you should do on all of these problems is write Gemma right at the top to help remind you of the steps I'm looking at. So my first step is groupings. Do I have a grouping? If I say yes, I do it. Is it hard to draw that little line? No. Then I do the math. 27 and 45 gives me 72. And I rewrite anything I haven't done yet. Is that really hard to write divided by 9? No. Guys, that's literally all we're asking you to do. Rewrite everything you haven't done yet. Because you're going to see in the other packet we're giving you today, the numbers are going to get a lot harder. And if you're not rewriting this stuff, you're going to struggle. Now I do 72 divided by 9, I get 8. I go through this process every time. Do I have a grouping? Yes, I do that first. I rewrite anything that hasn't been done. 74 divided by 2 gives me 37. Do I have any more groupings? No. Exponents? No. Multiplication, division? No. So I'm just doing subtraction. That's going to give me 50, 45. I have a grouping, so that's where I'm going to start. 91 minus 84 gives me 7 times 13. Only 2 numbers left. That means I'm just multiplying. Gives me 70, 91. Groupings, yes. So I do that first. I rewrite everything else. 6 times 14 divided by 2 is 7. Only 2 numbers left. That gives me 42. Groupings, yes. I'm going to do that first. I rewrite everything else. 48 plus 33 gives me 70, 81. Groupings, yes. I do that first. 58 minus 45 gives me 13 times 8. Multiply that out, I get 104. Groupings, yes, I do that first. 103, everything else gets written. Minus 90 gives me a 13. I have a grouping, I do that first. 99 divided by 33 gives me a 3. Is it difficult? No, if you will write out the steps, it actually makes it faster. There's not that much writing on this. So please, let's take another chance. Turn to the next page. Sorry, that should be your next page. Again, the first thing I recommend is write Gemma on top. That's going to guide you in what you're going to do. Make sure you follow it. You have 8 problems. Again, fold the answers underneath so you're not looking at them. And we have 8 problems. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Go. So interestingly enough, as I went around, I saw almost half of you refuse to write Gemma up here to help remind you of what you were supposed to do. Of that half, about 90% weren't showing their work for each step they did. And of that 90%, about 80% of them had at least one problem wrong. The good news is, for the half that had the Gemma written and showed every step, every problem I saw was right. I literally didn't see a single error on those. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what you should be doing. So our first one, do I have any grouping? Exponents. Multiplication, division. I rewrite everything else. 7 plus 9 gives me 16. Second one, do I have any groupings?
No.
Exponents. Guys, literally should just go this fast. Multiplication, division. Yes, I rewrite everything else. 14 minus 2 gives me 12. Next one, do I have any groupings? Exponents. Multiplication, division. Yes. 60 minus 36. 24. Next one, do I have any groupings? Exponents. Multiplication, division. Both, so I just go from left to right. 1 times 20 is 20 divided by 5 gives me 4. Next one, any groupings? Exponents. Multiplication, division. Are you guys getting the idea? Okay. So, I'm not going to do it again. No, and nothing till I get addition subtraction. This gives me 47 minus 39 would be 8 plus 2, which is 10. Our next one is division and multiplication. Remember, this is why we changed from PEMDAS. I don't do multiplying before division. I do all multiplication division left to right, meaning I start here. 54 divided by 3 is going to give me 18 times 3, which will give me 54. And then our last one, we have a division up front. 3 plus 8 gives me 11. Are you understanding the process yet? Okay. We have one more page of practice with these types of numbers. Adding a little extra one. They've again started you on the first one. And this one. So you have 2 more pages of operations. Go ahead and get started. Okay, again, guys, this all comes back to Gemma. If you just ask yourself at each step. So I'm down here now. Do I have any groupings? Exponents. Multiplication, division. Yes, I do that next. I rewrite everything else. 10 plus 1 gives me 11. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Within my parentheses, I still follow Gemma. So inside the grouping symbol, and sometimes you're going to have what we call nested expressions, which is a parentheses inside of a parentheses. So you still have to ask yourself that same series. Do I have any additional groupings? Are there any additional groupings inside that set of parentheses? No.
Oh, wow.
There's not a second set of parentheses. Do I have any exponents?
No.
Multiplication or division? Yes, I rewrite everything else, including the parentheses, inside of those parentheses. So I still have a parentheses, so I'm going to do this one next. 12 plus 16 gives me 18 times 2, which gives me 36. Our next one, do I have a grouping? Yes, I rewrite everything else. 48 divided by 4 times 6. Do I have any additional groupings? No. Exponents? No. Multiplication, division? Yes. Going left to right. 12 times 6 gives me 72. Going to the next page. You want to skip the parentheses page with them? Okay. Again, within the, I'll put the gem up here for everybody to realize what we're doing. Within the parentheses, I do division first. Everything else gets rewritten. 12 plus 4 minus 2. I still have parentheses. 33 plus 2 gives me 35. Parentheses, I do first. 12 divided by 2 times 3. Now it's multiplication division, meaning it goes left to right. 6 times 3 gives me 18. Parentheses goes first. 7 times 8 divided by 4. Now it's just multiplication left to right. So we do 56 divided by 4, which gives me 14. Within the parentheses, I follow Gemma, meaning 3 times 5 comes first. Everything else gets rewritten. 60 divided by 30 minus 15. Parentheses, I still have my grouping symbol, so I'm going to do 60 divided by 15, which is going to give me 4. Groupings, 9 minus 7 is 2 times 8 minus 6. 16 minus 6, because I multiply before I subtract, which gives me 10. Within my grouping symbol, I follow Gemma. So I do parentheses 6 plus 2 times 7. That gives me 8 times 7, which is 56. Parentheses, this one's a little easier because there's just one operation inside of them. Multiplication and division goes left to right. 81 divided by 3 gives me 27. Times 3 brings me back to 81. And our last one, we start at the parentheses. 13 plus 5 times 7. Multiplication comes before addition. 13 plus 35 gives me 48. Questions? Okay, so last page of the packet. We've done this with most classes, but for the video, we want to make sure we get more practice in. So we're going to go to our second piece, which the first thing I want you to do is put your current packets away where you can't see them. As soon as you get it, I want you to fill Gemma in with as much information from the notes as you can remember. Okay, the first part should have been easy. First part is just putting in the words. So G stands for grouping. E stands for M is good. And make sure you have both. Remember, this is one of the big changes from PEMDAS, because multiplication division is one step. PEMDAS made it look like 2, and it's not. And the A is a good. One of the other big ones. Okay, who remembers what examples we gave you of groupings? I'll give you. We gave you 3. Liam? Brackets. Parentheses, I heard someone say. What was the last one? Liam?
It looks like parentheses, but with a line of the...
No. No. Who remembers what our third grouping symbol was? Tita? Close. Division bar. Awesome. Who said that? That was Angelina? Good. So top first, bottom second, and then divide. Okay. And just as a sample, oops, I'm sorry we did it backwards. Brackets are where we have the little basically square piece to it. Parentheses is just rounded, and your division bar is literally just a division bar.
What's the difference between brackets and parentheses?
What they look like. Normally, brackets are used when I have what we call a nested expression. So normally if I have brackets, there's another set of parentheses or brackets inside of it. Okay? Exponent. What was the example on that? Anybody remember?
2 with a 4 for x.
Awesome. So we actually did an exponent. And I said, this is the exponent. Exponent. And that tells you how many times to multiply the number by itself. We did that in all capitals to really bring it out and underline it, right? And then we also gave you an example. 2 to the 4th actually equaled what? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or 16. Now your other 2 lines had the same notes, which was just saying left to right. Because the rest of it should have been pretty self-explanatory. Okay? Now the other big one, we always solve in order from left to right. So within each of these groups, we always go left to right. So if I have 2 sets of parentheses, I do the left group, then the right group. If I have exponents, I do the left exponent, then the right exponent. If I have multiplication or division, I do the left one, then I do the right one. I always go left to right. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? Now, this is for the Austins of the world. We are now making them considerably harder because now it's more than just 3 numbers and 2 steps. So you're going to see several different pieces in these 8 problems. We gave you a little checklist on every single problem. So go through your checklist, rewrite everything you haven't done in that step until you get it all done. Basically, it should look kind of like a filter. I should start big, and then by the time I get done, I just have 1 number for my answer because I'm getting rid of 1 step each time. Couple notes. When we talk about the left to rights, guys, please stop. When we talk about the left to rights, so for example, on this one, I have an exponent here and an exponent here. All that's meaning is I do this exponent, rewrite everything else, then I do this exponent, rewrite everything else. You don't go to the next step until you finish the one before. So you only have 8 problems. We have 12 minutes left in class. So I'm going to give you guys about 7 minutes to try to finish the 8 problems. See how many of you can get it done. Go. Real quick first. Go to the last page of your packet. I don't have it, but yes, it looks like the maze. On the maze, what you'll notice is on the upper right, there is a little arrow. It looks like this. And it says, oops, sorry, start here. So you're actually starting at this page in your packet. Do not start on the upper left. From there, each box that you come to has a problem with 1 to 3 solutions coming off of it. If you do not find one of those answers when you work it out, that means you made a mistake. This is what we call a self-correcting homework problem. Okay? If you've done the math properly, you're going to wander around the maze in some manner and end up at the end, which is kind of in the middle, on the bottom right or bottom left there. Okay? So that's your homework. Let's go through this one real quick. The other 2 pages are for your extra practice if you want to get some extra practice on these. Those are optional. Your homework is the last page. Guys, quiet. You need to be quiet. Otherwise, I will make them homework because I've got about 3 minutes to get as many of these problems done as I can. So, to try to help you out, I multiply first. 14 minus 5 plus 6. Now it's just going left to right. 9 plus 6 gives me 15. Groupings first. 36 divided by 4 plus 20 times 8. Multiplication division goes left to right. That means 9 plus 20 times 8. 20 times 8. 9 plus 160 gives me 169. Groupings come first. 3 times 24 minus 2 times 11. When I have a number, a parentheses, and another number, that means multiply now. Okay? So that gives me 60. 84 minus 2 times 11. I still multiply first. 82. No. 3. Yeah, it's a 2. 82 minus 22 gives me 60. Our next one. Multiplying, the brackets come first. 37 plus 4 times 8 plus 9. Now we're multiplying. 37 plus 32 plus 9. Now addition subtraction goes left to right. Gives me 60, 79, or 69 plus 9 or 78. Remember, division mark is a grouping symbol. Yes?
3 times 24 is 72.
60, 72. Thank you. So it should have been 50. My apologies. Thank you, Austin. See, that's the problem when you try to go too fast, guys. Even math teachers can make errors on that case. So first thing I need to do is my numerator. So 92 minus, I do the 12 plus 16, gives me 28 divided by 4. So 92 minus 28 is going to give me 864, which equals 16. Okay, don't forget your homework. Yes. Okay, everybody's gone, but we're going to work the last couple problems just so you guys can see how they go and check what you did if you finished up the page. So our next one, again, within the grouping, I followed Gemma, so I'm going to do the 8 squared first. Gives me 5 plus 64 minus 2 times 2. Still have the grouping, 5 plus 62 times 2. Multiplication comes before addition, so I do 5 plus 124 for a total of 129. Our next one, again on the exponents, remember that's that number times itself. So we first redo our grouping. So I'm going to rewrite everything else. 3 to the 4th minus 2 to the 3rd times 3 plus 60. Exponents come next. 3 to the 4th. Remember that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, or 9 times 9, which is 81. Minus 2 to the 3rd times 3 plus 60. I have another exponent. 2 to the 3rd is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, times 3 plus 60. I now have a multiplication in the middle, which is one of the ones that will get you more commonly than any of them. 81 minus 24 plus 60. Now it's just left to right. 81 minus 24 is going to give me 60, 57 plus 60, or 117. Then our last one, again within the grouping, I'm first going to do the exponent. So 2 times 49 minus 15 plus 11. Rewrite anything that hasn't been done yet. I'm still doing the grouping, means 49 gives us 34 plus 11. 2 times 34 is going to give me 68, plus 11 gives me 79. So that works all that. Good luck, guys. If you want the answers on the other pages, I will do a key, and you guys can come and get them if you want. Take care. Good luck. Bye-bye.